April 22nd at Leeds, Danny Christie.
Yeah, we've had a big build-up, there've been 2 videos released. I got me back up a little bit, but, I ain't one for trash talking. I do respect every fighter I get in with. He brings something nice to the table, I bring something nice to the table, so rather than saying I'll do this, do that and other, I just can't wait to fight. It's another opportunity to show what I can do. Obviously, he's a talented lad with what I've seen, so every time I get a good name or something, I seem to fight my best anyway, so it seems to bring best out of me, so happy days, I look forward to it. It's just another challenge, it's just on my journey. I am getting to America regardless, so it's just another obstacle in my path. It's no disrespect to anybody who I fight, because I don't see it personal, but whoever's in my way, I've got a dream to reach and I'm dedicated to that dream. As you see my morning routine, everything I do is fight based. I go to sleep thinking about fight, I wake up thinking about fight, what can I do to be better, how can I progress, and the coaches I've got around me, absolutely brilliant. I've got P, Neil Wayne, David Norris, Strength and Con, so I am surrounded by everybody in a really good place, which I can't ask for more. The cocaine scene, but that was just more weekends, but it was just as common as getting a pint. I'll have a pint in a bag. But again, you're doing it to mass summit, you're not realising at the time, but all these people, what you're doing they've all got their own issues, trying to escape life in some form or another. And just in this negative routine, and you think, you're not happy in yourself, you're absolutely depressed all week, and just as you start coming back to yourself Friday,
You almost justify it to yourself as well, and you're like, feeling better,
I'm feeling good now, let's go do it. I've just done a 2.5-year sentence, so I'd have to do a 1.5 year inside, then I got a 10-month for one for something as pathetic as that, which it were a group of lads, the army lads, and I've still got 10 months, even though they provoked it, should I say. I know you've been I'm mentally very strong. I see myself winning. I'm physically already at 6 weeks out. I got absolutely beasted yesterday, and my fitness is, throughout all the way there. The drive, the power, everything was still there at the end. I did a 24-minute round, and then I was doing 5-minute rounds, and constantly beasted all the way through. And I felt, at the time, you think, this is hard, but I had that mind to just keep going, and for the end of it, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, then I was a bit wary of sparring today because I absolutely emptied tank yesterday. So but we still did 12 rounds today. So
tell us a little bit about that down at AVT today, Danny Mitchell.
Yeah, Danny Mitchell's gym. Me and Rico do a bit with each other each camp now. He don't need no introduction. He's very talented himself. He's been a world champion. He beat the main man, Jimmy Sweeney, and he did it in convincing fashion. They had a rematch, but Rico had a operation then at the time, so he wasn't fully Rico, but he's in a really good, strong physical place. He's looked in top shape his last fight, didn't he? And made it look very easy, so yeah, it's good, like I said, the calibre of people to be around, sharpening each other up. Danny Mitchell, UFC vet. It was good to get a few rounds in with him today. He's got nice rangy, very good fight IQ. Morgan Starkey, a bit shorter, but he's been on. It's loads of experience on that mat. To all bounce off each other, we all bring something to the table, and and to adjust to each person, how we're doing round after round. You can't get much better sparring than that. It's real good for Ed, really sharpening, and like today we weren't pushing pace that much, but what we were doing, picking shots, nice technical, sharp shots. Not wasting anything, and yeah.
Danny's got like a full-size cage there as well.
I've been there. I've trained a couple of times.
Yeah, it's really good to see.
Yeah, it's like the bars on the BKFC ring. There's no giving them, so it is basically the same as in cage. If you get knocked onto the back at cage, there's no giving that. So we thought it would be better training in that than boxing ring, a squared ring, to just get used to that movement. So, but I might fight anyway. I think with my movement and stuff, it don't matter how big or small ring is, I can easily navigate around it. I've got I feel for my weight, my footweight's a really good strong strength for mine. So,
talk me about April 22nd at Leeds, Danny Christie.
Yeah, we've had a big build-up, there've been 2 videos released. I got me back up a little bit, but you know, I ain't one for trash talking. I do respect every fighter I get in with. He brings something nice to the table. I bring something nice to the table. So rather than saying I'll do this, do that and other, I just can't wait to fight. You know, it's another opportunity to show what I can do. Obviously, he's a talented lad with what I've seen. So every time I get a good name or something, I seem to fight my best anyway. So it seems to bring best out in me. So happy days. I look forward to it. It's just another challenge. It's just on my journey. I am getting to America regardless. So it's just another obstacle in my path. It's no disrespect to anybody who I fight, because I don't see it personal. But whoever's in my way, I've got a dream to reach, and I'm dedicated to that dream. As you see, my morning routine, everything I do is fight based. I go to sleep thinking about fight. I wake up thinking about fight. What can I do to be better? How can I progress? And the coaches I've got around me, absolutely brilliant. I've got P, Neil Wayne, David Norris, Strength and Con. So I am surrounded by everybody in a really good place, which can't ask for more.
Back to that Danny Christie video.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're professional about it. You kind of listen to what he's saying and try and keep to your own game plan. And I saw a little video that you posted. You don't bite back, but you're like, let's fucking see who's got it on day then. That. Does a small part of you just feel like, obviously back in day, if someone said that sort of shit to you on a night out, you'd be biting straight away, you'd be kicking off. But like when another professional puts that sort of thing out there, do you feel a little bit about like biting back to him?
Yeah, I did a bit. We're all blokes, aren't we? But end of the day, we've all got to get riled up for fights in different ways, each to their own. I'm like I say, I ain't gonna trash talk. I haven't done it yet, and I'm not gonna start now. Thought I'll give it. Only thing what annoyed me when he compared my last fight, and I thought, hey, mine were 5-0, mine were unbeaten. Yours were 0-5. Dropped every first round, so don't mention last fights. I can compare the two. Everybody who I fought has been unbeaten at the time, and everybody who he's fought so far in BKFC, one had no fight camp and the other one jumped in at last minute. So I thought you can't compare last fights. Everybody who I've fought they've been unbeaten, barring Mason Shaw. I mean, somebody put on his finger on Mason Shaw would be a better fight for him, than me. And I thought, well, obviously, I haven't been watching.
What, and Mason would be a better fight for Danny or for you?
Yeah, for Danny. They put on one of his comments, and I thought, obviously, you haven't been watching that much then, because you'd have seen I beat Mason every round. So it's hats off to him. Like, he did a good fight on BKFC against Lee Brown.
Is that the most recent one that we saw?
Yeah, we watched Mason. It was the one that they got the decision wrong at the end.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
How does that happen in an organisation like that so big? Just who's making it?
Just maybe it could be anything. A glance at card wrong, glance at name wrong.
You'd think that you'd double check.
Well, it's your only job, innit?
Exactly.
Or watching wrong fight.
Talk me about what's it feel like for you to be fighting in your own town, Leeds, Planet Ice.
Don't make no difference to me, mate, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously following on atmosphere is going to be great. It's going to be much better than what we're in Newcastle, which I absolutely love that, so yeah, it's but it ain't any more pressure, it ain't any, it don't affect that whatsoever. I'm experienced enough now to just I blank all that out, but I'll soak it all in on way to the ring, I'll soak it all way out at the ring, but during I'm pretty much one focus, one mindset.
Does it make it easier that there's not a lot of travel involved? You can sort of stick to your routine.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I can just be at home all morning and just jump in and weigh in and stuff. I've got sauna on that home, so I'll do everything. I'll be nice and relaxed. I'll nip back and forth 'cause it's only 10-15 minutes away in it, so I'm looking forward to it. I just want to see what crowd we got. I think I've already got rid of 10 tables.
Nice.
So
how many tickets do you usually sell? How many bodies do you usually sell?
The last show, I think it was about 250 to 300. I'm looking at this, probably about 400 or 500, which would be nice.
I'd say like 500 rowdy Airedalers easily equals out to about 1,000.
That's why I need to make sure that I've got a media pass, so if there's ever like a little bit of sign of it kicking off, I can just see you.
I don't know with Airedales, I think some of them would be wanting me to lose. I'd be fucking in there. Danny Christie's corner. Going, yeah, fuck him up.
I think it is, watching the build up and the fight. Not that the on paper, they're saying it's almost like a 50-50 fight, but how do you see it from an experience standpoint? Obviously, two very elite men, very
Yeah.
experienced in what you do, sort of.
Well, I see.
How do you see it?
I see him every fight I have. It don't matter who I'm fighting. I see it. I'm fighting next world champion. You know, so I don't. I just concentrate on myself. It don't matter what they bring to the table. As long as I'm, you know, switched on in every area, I work on all areas. You know, as long as I'm complementing my game plan. If I'm on form, I don't think there's many what can match me. Especially, you know, if I'm fully physically there, the camp's going well. Like I say, I'm surrounding myself with all right people. So I'm just on a massive high up minute. You know, obviously I have my tired days where you're drained from training and you think, fucking hell.
You didn't want to look at his, what is it, your zone stuff today when
Yeah,
you were tired? Just
so
don't
no,
let that get in your
no
head.
scientific stuff today. I just thought, I don't.
Give
I'm
it
sparred.
all.
Yeah, I'm sparring. So regardless, I'm sparring. So it's pointless looking if I've got a bad scar or out. So yeah, I'll just play with head.
Bring
So,
it back to, we shared a video the other day regarding morning routine.
Yeah.
Is there any strategies and routines that you've been trying that's been working? Is there any new things that you're sort of getting stuck into?
Like I said, since 2019, I've been really spiritual, but I have got, especially this past year, really into meditation, and I'm noticing what it does for, you know, your mindset, the positivity. You know, I see myself winning, I believe myself winning, you know, and I think as a fighter, you've got to have that. You can't have no doubt, you can't have no negativity. If I do get one negative thought, I make sure I fill it with 10 positives, you know, to just make sure everything, to win or lose a fight, everything begins in head first, and then it's your training, you know, your art. So everything's, like I say, everything's on the right path. My fitness is there, my mental strength is there, my coaches are there, and I just feel really supported at the minute, not just through the coaching, but through the coverage, what we're getting, through you know, the response of the fans, you know, the support, the messages I'm getting. I can't ask for a lot, you know. I feel really grateful. I feel really happy for the opportunities I've been given, and I just want to keep driving, and keep reaching another higher level. Keep striving, just to keep producing more and to be the best I can be. To hopefully be a better version of me than I was yesterday. That's it. That's the main goal.
You know,
Yeah, that's what it was.
sorry, mate. You know, with that mental strength that you're talking about, right? One thing I noticed the other day when we did the morning routine, and it's more like the meditation side of stuff and like the spiritual side of stuff. I noticed that you found it way easier to switch off, even though you were talking through the, like, you sort of did a guided meditation for me in the sauna. I don't know what it is, because I try to meditate every day, and I've been doing for the last 2-3 months now. But I just find it hard to fully switch off and like sink into that meditate, especially when you're doing breath work. Like we spoke about after, I nearly, like, I don't know if I were about to have a seizure or collapse when I was doing the breath work and stuff. And I watched the video back. I did the time lapse, and on the time lapse, I'm like breathing like this, and I'm leant forward because I feel like I'm about to pass out. You just stay in that same place. And does that come with practice, doing all the meditation stuff?
Yeah,
I think you get better at it.
Biggest key to it is as well is the breath, how you breathe during. And I mean, you can feel the energy going through it. And I said to you, sometimes, like when you're doing Wim Hof and stuff and the breathing, my arms can start doing like on my body can start checking and stuff.
Is that from hyperoxidant? What is it? Just
I think because you're holding it's supposed. Like when you read Wim Hof and stuff like that, it's supposed to be alkaline in all your body, getting rid of all this acidic in your body with how you hold your breath and stuff. It's there's science behind it, but I can't recall it at a minute. But you can feel it when you can feel all your cells, and you can feel blood going round and oxygen going round, and when you focusing your mind on it as well, going deeper and deeper within. I mean, if you feel great after, it's like, you know, it's all relaxed.
Is it an hard practice to be consistent with, or so? Like if you go back to 2019.
2019, yeah.
What were the practices that you thought, you know, I'm gonna commit to this, I'm gonna start something? What was the first few practices?
I read a few books on it, to be honest with you, how to get deep, because I felt stupid, and I think anybody new to it would think, what am I doing here? But you know, if you stick with it and keep focusing your mind on it, bringing your mind within rather than letting it wander off. And again, back to the breath work, I think that is the key, you know, how you're breathing and stuff. But it's that sense of, afterwards, that sense of calmness, but like a euphoric feeling set up for the day. So I think anything what puts you in a good place like that, it's good. But what it also, your nervous system's always reactive, you know, overworking. So it's a good way of shutting it all down, calming it all down, so you can recover better, you can operate better. Because a lot of us, we've talked about before, the fight or flight. A lot of us, you know, through stress of work or whatever we're doing, relationships and that, we're stuck in a constant form of fight or flight, and we don't know how to switch it off. And stress, it causes illnesses, poorly called fatigue. And I think being able to tap into your own nervous system and to calm it, you know, like that, it's
Had you become almost, like, for me personally, one thing that I want to work on is, not that I'm triggered in terms of aggression, but I can almost sometimes allow how other people speak to me or a certain tonality to trigger a response in me. Can you remember why you wanted to commit to these processes? Was there something that you were doing in everyday life that
Well, like you said there, I were very, especially when I was younger, very hypersensitive. You know, I'd react off other people straight away. And rather than thinking it through, I'd act first rather than, no, that's not the right thing to do. They'd get a reaction out of me. But again, reading, like Telegurdo and stuff like that, if you're reacting, you know, you're letting somebody get under your skin and you're reacting straight away, they've got control of you. You know, and then I started looking at it on that path. I go, well, yeah, they've got control of my body.
if
my
someone
thoughts.
says something to you or behaves a certain way, if it's non-violent, then
it's like they've got control
It is, isn't
of
it?
my
Like,
emotions. So I thought, you know what, there's only one person who's in control of me, and that's me. So once I started looking at it from that point of view, I started being able to, you know, keep practicing and getting to where I am now.
Is there anything that still triggers you, like, even though you're working hard on yourself?
I've been papped in fucking cars.
yeah, road rage is one that always gets me.
Yeah.
I feel me, especially when you get somebody sticking ones up, doing, and I think, fucking, if you're going to do it in car,
Has anyone ever, like, obviously they'll have no clue you are in the car. Has everyone ever got out?
Yeah, well, no, I've ended up chasing them down motorway. Going, come on then, say it to my fucking face.
I was telling Josh a story the other day. I pulled up outside. Well, just get off junction 32, and you can go left past, like, towards Pizza Hut and all that, or you can go straight on past, like, Bubbles Car Wash. And I pulled over at lights there, and I'd not cut somebody up. I just pulled into the lane, and he sped up behind me and beat his horn at me. So I, like, looked at him in rear view. If he started taking his seatbelt off as if we were going to do something, so I thought, fucking, let's go then. Just took my seatbelt off. I went to get that car. He jumped back in car, shut his door, and fucking went straight onto grass and went straight for red light and drove off. But then light went green, so I followed him.
Yeah, but let's just say he gets out of the car. Are you just willing to have a straightener there and then?
100%.
As soon as you see him, you see him doing it, don't you? When you look through fucking.
I won't be shocked by you if I got a call from you saying, "Listen, mate, I've done X and Y." I won't be shocked.
What are you going to do, though?
No, I get it, but I don't know.
It's not worse when you pull out and there's cars and they must be 40, 50 yards away and the beep, just because you pull out 40, 50 yards away and the beep, like you're
beep
going
coming up to you
near,
as if they're going to do something.
or they start speeding up. You think you're fucking kidding, you know? Just little pet aches like that. It does it seem to. I've not mastered that yet. It does trigger something inside, like a little adrenaline rush. I'm thinking, oh, cunts.
Has it ever come to blows, like in a road rage sort of?
No,
never really does it?
But imagine this. So imagine in an ulterior reality that you did get out of the car and he just creamed you up. You've never been born again, would you? It'd teach you a lesson. It would teach you a lesson.
I've like ended up ragging a van door off her and been pointing and spitting in the face. You know, I've been shouting that much. I've been fucking frothing everywhere. But then after, I think I've gone a bit too far there. But yeah, for fucking future reference, don't pap your fucking arms.
I've got a question because I've got a few stories I want you to tell. Bring me back to sort of not necessarily childhood, but can you remember your first time where anyone either put it on you or you put it on someone? Can you remember that first fight? How did it feel? What did you do?
Peter Smith, I was 4, he was 8. I'll never forget this.
You was 4?
Yeah.
What years old?
Yeah, he was 8. Like I said, we lived at Pontefract. It was on Bag Hill. Yeah, it was not your poshest estates. My mum were only young. And she used to have a few arguments with his mum and stuff like that. And I just always remember he used to throw bricks and stuff like that, chat me from in a grate. And then one day, just retaliated, fought back. I went home crying, and my mum kicked me out. He says, "Don't come back here, or I'll chuffing at you." So sent me out, come back, and I ended up having a go. And I was proud I did it. And then from there, I think it progressed.
Do you get the taste for it then, almost that adrenaline? What is it?
Well, I think as a teenager, like going off, I think overreacted to stuff, and I started getting noticed. I got attention through reacting. whether it be telling off or whatever. But I started to get respect for people. I hope don't mess about with me, blow sort of thing. But I enjoyed that. They know not to mess about with me. But then I started doing it a bit too much. You know what I mean? So again, a young teenager going through puberty, I'm probably throwing my weight about more than what I should have.
Is it hard to get lost almost for someone who's as notorious as you? Is it hard to get lost in almost a bit of a reputation then?
Yeah, I think everybody judges you. I think the amount of rumours what's gone about over the years about what sort of person I am, and from these people what's never met me. Then once they've talked to me, they say, "Oh, you're not like Colt," I heard, or I don't like that, which can be a bit frustrating sometimes. But I think now, especially with my life being a bit more on view, people see I are the person I'm made out to be a lot. So I've had some great accusations, what I'm supposed to have done, what I am supposed to have done, and how much I'm supposed to be an animal. I'm just a normal person, I have probably took it a bit too far, and I have lost my head when I was younger. I didn't know when to stop, and my main thing was do to them, make sure they never come back again. So I did used to go a little bit far, but.
Can you remember sort of first time there then where the law and the police got involved? Was that a fear? Was that a...
Yeah, from a lot, I was like 14 upwards, I was constantly. What is it, reprimands, cautions, warnings, getting locked up. Yeah, and again, I was just stuck in a bag rut, but again, to do what we're hanging about with the environment I were in, I think we're a council state, what we're on as well. So, yeah, but you learn. What I've learned of it years, I'm just that calm now, I don't let hardly anybody affect me. I'm going to get that one more.
What point were it of like getting in trouble and getting into fights and shit? What point of your life did you realise, like, I'm getting nothing from this, I need to
Speaking
knock
to
it
my
on your head?
daughter from prison, my daughter coming to visit me, my birthdays, Christmases, sharing a fucking room same size as this, and having no peas to even shit, no toilet seat.
What's up with the size of this room?
Yeah, I'm on about living in it for over a year. Yeah.
I've got a question there. So, can you remember that first time where you were alone in that jail cell? What's that feeling like?
On the induction wing, you think, oh, fucking hell, I'm here now, and you said to yourself, I'll never come back, first time, but once you've been in trouble once, it's that easy to slip up, just...
It's a snowball effect in it. Once shit.
All they've got, they don't judge you, all good things. They're just seeing stuff black and white. They don't see no empathy around it. What caused it? Just say, oh, it's just straight, plain as day. He did this. That's it. Is scum, and because I think our luck as well. Even judges, some at times, because I speak quiet, don't I? I once up on a trial, and I was speaking, and I had my hand in a pot one at times, and a lad from Army come in when I was in Leeds. Thought it was funny with a group of his mates to push me, and I pissed all over me. And didn't know this lad from Adam, and he just proper laughing. And I thought, who the fuck would do that to a stranger anyway? And I had my hand in a pot, and obviously, me at younger days, I just started elbowing him and going to town on him. But do you think you're fucking funny? But I said all this, I'm sure you're not that quiet when you usually out, Mr. Holmes, as I was speaking on there. And they were trying to make out a punch. I said, I could have punched him, my hand were in a pot. Yeah. You can clearly see on CCTV. And don't take a word into account what I said. It was just, they look at me. They got me fights off YouTube from MMA days. They use that. I found out after they're not allowed to do that, but they use that as a bad character, as I'm aggressive. So after I'd just done a 2.5 year sentence, I'd had to do a 1.5 year inside. Then I got a 10-month for one for something as pathetic as that, which it were a group of lads, Army lads, and I still got 10 months, even though they provoked it, should I say.
Did you just stop with the violence? Did you sort of make yourself a promise? Do you sort of remember a day where I'm not going to do this anymore?
Like I say, when you start speaking, especially for me, Cody's, she means everything to me, my daughter. And when I started losing out on not being able to be there for her fully, seeing what effect that can have on kids and that as well, because I am an hands-on dad. I do like to, show love, everything. And it used to break my heart, because we were only young as well. She was speaking to her on phone, in a little child voice and stuff, and then having to go, and knowing I wasn't there at Christmases and birthdays, it's a toll. So I thought, I can't do this again.
What's it actually like in prison? Obviously, I've never been. You hear all these crazy stories. Any
it's
trouble?
It's boring, mate. That's things what you take for granted. Going to the fridge for some food, a decent food. I think I come out green because I didn't know fucking no sunlight. You know, after a year, I had like a horrible skin colour. I went very skinny as well. Yeah, it just absolutely boring. But you get a few people in there. They've got that jail mentality. Oh, it's easy. Yeah, it's easy the time in there. There's no thing about. But you're away from your loved ones. It's not. It's no positive about it. You can't take anything good. You're not going to do out with your life while you're in there. So yeah, you've got to have a real. I think you've got to really analyse stuff and reevaluate where you want to be in life. Do you want to keep going in and out, or do you want to make something of yourself?
Is there ever any trouble in there?
Yeah, there's trouble in there. Yeah, the same as everywhere. You get your dickheads, don't you? And you get people with attitude problems. Yeah, but it's dealt with a little bit different in there. So.
Timeline wise, so you from this time in jail there, when did the combat career sort of restart and relaunch then?
I was in it from when I was young, from 19 week boxing, or on and off. Up and then 22, then I got sent down, and then I went back at 27, and then I did, I think I did my knee and that in. So I ended up retiring, a few things fell through. I was signed with BAMA, I was supposed to go to Thailand, broke my leg, and then everything went down. I was just in a few volatile relationships there as well, on and off. So yeah, I just went on a downward spiral and just lost myself for a couple of years. Then I think I was in full depression mode. Didn't see point of life really.
You start partying as well then?
Partying hard, yeah. It was one of those. Not sometimes it could be 4 or 5 days. You know, I really lost myself. I think that were MCAT days. That was just disgusting.
Yeah, that was a crazy drug. That
crazy
phase for like young people growing up.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing then, and then obviously there were cocaine scene, but that was just more weekends. But it was just as common as getting a pint. I'll have a pint in a bag, but again, you're doing it to mass summit. You know, you're not realising at the time, but all these people, what you're doing it, they've all got their own issues, trying to escape life in some form or another, and yeah, just in this negative routine, and you think, how you're not happy in yourself, you're absolutely depressed all week, and just as you start coming back to yourself Friday,
you almost justify it to yourself as well, and you're like, feeling better, let's go do it again.
I'm feeling good now, let's go do it again, yeah. And it gets stuck in a cycle like that, but everybody who's in that routine, they are going through some form of issues, the same what they're hiding from, or they're not dealing with, or even life itself, they're hiding from life. So it's once you start seeing what negative effect it does do, and what it is stopping you from achieving, you know, it's like I say, life's been good since.
What advice would you give to someone? So you're deep in that drug culture there and partying and doing whatever you're doing. Can you sort of remember a time where you were like, right, I'm going to stop this and commit to a purpose, bigger purpose?
Actually, to be fair, I know this is bad to say, I did have some good memories. I made some good memories, had some good moments with it, but you know, it wasn't productive. And the damage what it was doing to myself, physically and mentally, I were up and down. I was suicidal a lot. I did a few things, you know, what I shouldn't have done. And yeah, I just thought once I started, I didn't like it when I was doing it, and the person I was becoming, and knowing what it were affecting the people around me. But it's like I was stuck in that loop of doing it, and just thought, right, something's got to change. And yeah, luckily it did. I had that DMT experience, and everything just went.
So in that was when were your introduction to sort of psychedelics? When was that?
Just before 2019, and then everything progressed from there. It's like it showed me something, and yeah, still wait from there.
In terms of the DMT experience, explain to people the trip you had there, where you visualised being back in the ring with the gladiator shorts and all stuff like that.
I mean, I tried DMT a couple of times. First I got the colours, and then I was in, and then I was just in the ring holding my hands up. I was doing a bit of boxing, nobody there, just me moving about boxing, and then I'm walking around the ring holding belts up, and I was retired at that time. And then 10 months later I won out belts, so I started hitting pads again, going down, doing a bit with Ray Robinson. I thought, you know what, I'm going to spot to Neil Wayne. He said, well, where do you want to go with this? You know what, I'm going to give it, you know, another shot. What do you want to do? Pro boxing, MMA, or do you want to give bare knuckle a try? I said, you know what, let's give bare knuckle a try. I got straight in for British title, so we've been here since.
And that were against Mason Shaw, the
Mason
first fight?
Shaw, yeah. Like I say, I've not had a easy fight. Every fight I've had, they've been unbeaten or, you know, well recognised experience. So I've not had an easy road, but I've made it very good and look entertaining. I've been in a decent fight every time. I know there wasn't much action given up last fight, but it takes two to tango. And I come out, I got the win unscathed, not a mark on me, so I see that as a good victory.
Back to that DMT trip then that you spoke about. Obviously, we've all tried it now. We spoke earlier and you said about breaking through.
Yep.
Obviously, this vision that you've got of you in the ring, you holding belts and stuff, like, what part of you is this? Is this, are you seeing yourself from like a bird's eye view?
Yeah, it was seeing myself from outside looking in as a spectator sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like a lot of times when I've done it, it's just like geometric like colours and stuff.
That's pretty much what I had both times.
And then but when I have broke through, it's just like as me speaking to you now, but the focusing on there, but the outer things changing. But yeah, it's clear, and it gives you a sense of panic because you think, fucking hell, is it real this? I'm here. But like, yeah, it's amazing stuff. I think it could be misused as recreational, which would be wrong. So I do highly believe it is a spirit, we'll call it spirit molecule, don't they? I do believe it's there for a reason, to help you. So.
Do you have any more? Obviously, you've done ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Do you feel at all that you need to do it again anytime soon, or are you quite happy with how
I
you
think there's
feel?
always something to be there to be healed, stuff what you've shut away. Like I told you about the guided stuff with Tony Mumsley we did, and that brought my memory up from childhood, what I then ended up dealing with. I think there's always some form of healing, but I wouldn't rush into ayahuasca.
No, I don't plan on rushing into it.
Yeah, it's...
I know Castle be full of people just doing rapé and ayahuasca and DMT, depends on it, so
yeah,
gotta be careful.
Again, like we said before, it's that intense. It's like, it breaks you mentally and physically, has you on the hands and knees, and you're a sigh of relief once it's all over, but you're grateful because you just push your mental limits to, extreme. So, yeah, but I would do it in a, like, more of a broad setting, I should imagine, if I'd to do it again. My goal has been for a long time to reach America, get known out there. I just want to be proud, like I said, I want to be in history books. I mean, I was the first person to do a cross-Atlantic promotion, world title fight, in the other promotion. I've been the first UK bloke to win BKFC belt, so I'm already on the right path to where I'd be, but I want to be known as one of the BKB greats. And I'll keep driving, keep pushing myself in the right direction. I don't want to sound big-headed about it, but I am putting every available minute in some form or another into producing that goal.
Someone you've helped who's fighting this weekend under by Mark Tiffin. I think it's BYB rules in the triangular ring.
Yeah, clinch on that.
How does Mark fare over there?
I think if he's confident, puts his head in a good place, nice, relaxed. I think he don't really know how strong he is, and I think that rawness he's got is actually very good. For him. I mean, people like a boxer, they're easy to be able to see it, straight shots and stuff, but is that unorthodox and that raw? It comes from a bit of different angle, a bit more aggressive, and I think for that, especially who is fighting, I think aggressive Mark takes him out first round or second round as long as he's switched on.
I'm going to watch that. I think they've just released the times. Is it like a 6-7 p.m.
This Saturday, our time.
This Saturday, our time, yeah.
So it's at Dubai, innit? So
I wonder what he's doing out there, Mark. I've just seen a picture
He's
of
just
him in
flown today,
Dubai, and he's there now.
He's
I've
there.
just seen a picture of him sort of enjoying it.
as long as he ain't got pint in there.
No, I think you edit that out.
Oh dear. Are you gonna? You got any intentions to get back in? What you've been doing a little bit of work.
I mean, I did a bit of sparring yesterday, like MMA sparring with Warren. BKB messaged me last week saying like we've got summer shows coming up. Do you want to do it? I'm just not interested in them sort of fights at the moment. I just feel like for the brand and to kind of fuel the hunger that I do have to carry on fighting, I feel like the sort of influencer boxing sort of thing. I think I prefer misfit sort of stuff.
We were just talking about Tom Zanetti's got a multi-fight deal, hasn't he? So do you think you can reach out to him?
Josh asked me on one of the podcasts, like, how do you think you'd do against him? And I was just like straightforward, like, no, I'd knock him out basically, and reposted it. And he commented saying, it was my first fight and this and that.
Yeah,
and
you are an experienced fighter, so obviously years of experience. But I'm on about helping him out on the.
Oh, to help him out.
Yeah, to prep
Yeah,
him.
well, he messaged me after. He said, "Give me a number, and we'll do some training next month and get him prepped because he's got like a 8-man tournament coming up on
'Cause
Kington."
he's got he's explosive, isn't he? But he needs to be.
I think it's all fight IQ experience stuff. Like we said, he were jumping and bouncing about in that first
manage
round
his
and
energy
stuff.
a lot better, you know, control that energy, because that would have been a big part. If they control that energy a bit better, they'd have had a lot more to give in that round, you know, especially the first round.
Especially when he landed that heavy shot. If he'd have had a bit more energy behind that, he could have probably stopped
So
him.
I think just a bit of coaching, a bit of experience behind him, and I think he'll get a much better performance out
He's
of him.
fighting
He's got a tough fight.
the gent who we watched. He did a little bit of sparring, moving around with Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And this kid who he's fighting looks like very solid with basics, doesn't he, and fundamentals there.
So this is where he needs to be switched on. And like I say, it's dealing with that nervous energy, fight energy, and putting it in the right direction. I think, I think if you could reach out, then he can get on his end, then, can't you?
Yeah, Tom, I think you've got to give Tom a little bit of props there. It was his first fight. Obviously, he's been used to big stages, doing what he does. He's a performer every single day. He's a workhorse.
I think everybody on there had a massive personality, didn't they?
Yeah. How hard is it to, when you're saying there, me as a complete amateur with this, how hard is it to control the energy?
Your first couple of fights, honestly, you know, all your technique goes out the window, doesn't it? And you're just swinging front fence.
Or is it like flight or fight, just go?
Yeah, but then as you get more and more experience, it's knowing not to let your emotions get better here, being in that moment as then. If you're taking everything crowds in as well, that ring becomes massive. So you zone out, so you have it in your head. As soon as you enter through those ropes, you zone everything out.
Just you two.
Yeah, just you two, and that's it.
Do you hear
Fully
anything?
focused.
Corner advice, people in crowd, do you hear any of that?
Like, you learn when you have a certain corner team and stuff, you learn to listen for the voices. That's where your sparring comes in, you're bonding with them, you're leading up to the fight. Years and years, like I've been round Wayne for years and years, I could hear his voice out of anywhere, you know. I'd be able to zone into it.
I sometimes find it distracting though, and no offense to David from Sweatbox, but when he corners fights, he seems to be consistently like, no, do this, throw that, and I find it, because I can hear it, but I'm trying to also focus on what I'm doing. So sometimes, and plus I feel like the opposition can hear what he's shouting, so then he's going to expect. So sometimes it can put me off. Obviously, if you get an experienced cornerman like Neil, then you can sort of separate it, and they'll probably try not to shout too loud so that they hear it. But also, it's hard to separate especially from like crowd from round here. Like my dad were one of the worst ones.
Knock him out!
Honestly, mate, I hate that. That's the most off-putting. Or if you ever took a girl to a fight, and she's screaming, "Go on, Ellie!" I just feel like turning around and saying, "Shut the fuck up and just let me fight."
Go on, fucking kill him.
Yeah, all that, man.
Knock him out's funny, because like, obviously that's the goal, but honestly,
Hit him.
if it were that
What do you
easy.
think I'm trying to do?
Hit him's the worst. He don't want it.
I think I shout that sometimes.
Yeah, I think you shout that.
What I found with coaching, and I made a few mistakes myself cornering, is giving fighters too much information, you know, overflow. So I believe if you are cornering something, just stick to one bit of information, what you think, right, this round, just get them to zone in on that one thing rather than flooding the head, oh, you need to do this, need to do that, because they go away, you've only got a minute, trying to get your breath back, your head's just from fighting things. So just one to two positive keys, you know, right, just 2 keys, that's it, and then next round, thought a little bit more, you know, rather than filling the head with too much stuff and they're going out and, what did he say again? You know, I think it's a big point.
You know what else I like to see as well with cornermen is when they give him a bit of shit as well. Like, do you not want this? Like, look at you. Hold
Leon Edwards is the prime example.
Exactly.
The best. I think that won him the fight.
Teddy Atlas, the fireman speech.
Yeah, he's good.
Fucking hell, his speeches get me fired up. I mean, that way, the fight, what was it? The fireman one. Was it James Bradley or something?
Yeah, Black Fighter, I remember.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. Yeah, it's a few of him, and the No Fear one. Wayne put me onto that ages ago, you know. And then there's only a key out of the Fear one. It's called Redemption. You know, I can listen to him all day. It gets me fired up. So
in the corner when you've got P and you've got Wayne this time.
Yeah.
How did the cornerman decide who's giving what advice? So it's not
they'll talk. I mean, I've got a gun bond with them both now. I'm really enjoying it with P. I've got years. Wayne knows me inside and out. You know. He holds me accountable. I send him all my scores in the morning and that, you know, so I'm not, you know, lazy any days. So yeah, I've got really good team going off. I mean, my strength from Concoach, Dave Norris as well. You know, I'm enjoying. I'm around really good people, and I think it's showing in my training where I'm at this minute. And yeah, I look forward to put it all on show at April 22nd.
If you could pick one person in the world, not because you hate them, but because you think it'd be like a good fight, money fight, and you'd enjoy fighting them, who would it be?
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
yeah. He's grown on me a lot, to be honest with you.
Respect that.
When he first come on scene, I just thought, yeah, you prick. But what he's doing for MMA, you know, trying to get people better deals and stuff like that, and what noise he's made from where he's come from, it's actually, you've got to, you know, give him a round of applause for it. And yeah, you know, he's made millions now off it.
What do you think to that? Like all the influencer boxing we've asked the last couple of guests, haven't we? Like, I know you're not a gloved boxer, but what's your opinions on it? Like Jodie, for instance, she was like, "Oh, I don't like it. It takes all glory away from the actual proper boxers."
It's a bit harsh. They've all got the followings from different routes, and I think to what they're getting paid and stuff, there's a lot of people, hell of a lot better than them out there who's put their life and soul into it, and I think a little bit it's taken away from all hard work. The people without the YouTube side, without the singing background side, you know, it's not their fault they're in that position, but there's a lot of people who should be on that stage. Who's very, it seems to be me, your personalities, your paydays, not your fighting. You think, who's the better fighter these days?
Yeah.
So,
well, it's not just about talent anymore, is it? It's not even about like how tough you are.
Just your draw. Who's got biggest draw?
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of talented kids out there, a lot of up and down country, all around world, who are not getting these shots, and they should. You know, they deserve to, because they are very talented, and it's in some respects it's wrong. But
you think some of these promoters will learn, even though it's, you know, it's not always needed, but just to learn promotion and learn social media? Do you think a lot of these fighters who are coming through the ranks, who are, you know, really, really talented and pure boxers, do you think they'll begin to it's part of the game?
It'd be nice for this, like, you're in the influence on that, to start accepting some, you know, up and coming, you know, putting them onto shows pre-hand and stuff, rather than it just be a fully influencer show. Give these young lads a big stage, you know, the ones who put their heart and soul into it, who are, you know, start getting them on a couple of fights pre-hand, you know, giving them that experience, and let them make the name through the talent, rather than being let somebody stand out like a.
What do you mean, like get them on the influencer shows?
Yeah,
I feel like all the promoters are just too greedy though right now. I feel like they just want everyone who's going to be bringing viewership to the show.
Yeah, I think it's
the issue.
You're going to get people not wanting to put their heart and soul into it. They're going to be more wanting to do it, you know, through.
Imagine if you and Holmes could do the tag team boxing. It would just you and Holmes versus Pereira and that other guy.
Pineda and
they'd never take the fight. It's too risky. But that'd be the ultimate, just to watch you. That'd be crazy shit.
Imagine an actual serious organisation. I imagine like a bare knuckle show doing a tag team thing.
Yeah, but the only thing with tag team, I said to you with this, so they did a tag team boxing.
Yeah.
And there was too much of a. Obviously, the ref has never refed anything like this before. What they'd have to do is, once they wanted to tag the partner in, they were like a little bit of a. I'd call it like a grey area.
Yeah.
Where they were tagging, but they were still letting shots go. So, I, like someone who was skilled as you two, like there'd have to be certain rules there where you'd tell the ref, and then the fighting stops. It weren't stopping; they were going to the corner and still letting shots go. So to me, it'd just be.
I've watched it either Russia or Poland. They do like 5-on-5 in cage and stuff. It's fucking crazy. I've then watched another one. There were 600 versus 600 just in a fucking. They're just all running it in at each other. They weren't all talented like.
Have you seen some of those organisations that do they really build up the fights, and they always come face to face and always fighting? I think it's like Poland, or is it maybe Russian or something?
Yeah, that Grandpa TV.
Yeah, they're just always at it before it even starts.
Yeah, it's not professional, is it?
No.
And, 9 times out of 10, if cut happens during that, you're not going to end up fighting, are you? So you're not going to get paid. So
just let people know. We've been building your channel out, Anthony Holmes on Facebook. We're going to build a YouTube channel out. How can people figure out tickets if they've been looking? There's tables still available. Who do they need to reach out to?
They have to do tables through us, not Link. The tickets ideally through me. You know, otherwise the promotion just get all the commission. So, and yeah, it would be better in my pocket than theirs.
So just reach out to the Facebook page, reach out to Holmesy on Facebook, and we'll get that figured
a lot
out.
of people are trying to add me on my normal page, which you only accepted 5,000. I rate that limit easy. I can't accept anybody else, so I ain't being ignorant. So it'd be just better if everybody can reach me on me and follow me on my page.
Facebook
Set
page.
up. Yeah, it's much better, and there's no limit to friends and that I can accept on it. And plus, we're putting a lot of good footage. You know, you can be more invested in seeing what we're doing week in, week out, which, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I've got another question back to the morning routine we spoke about Saturday. You mentioned that you've got the tent in your bed now.
Yeah, I do an altitude tent.
What's the crack with that? And I'll ask another question once you answer this, but what benefits do you get from that?
Altitude tent, it's hypoxic training. It reduces the oxygen. It's like being up in high altitude, like in mountains. So you get used to it on a night, say 5,000 metres up altitude. So your body's used to not having as much oxygen. So the next day when you're out of it, then your body's flooded of oxygen, you're operating on a much better level.
Does your missus get in bed as well?
No, she's on floor.
You put her on floor?
I ain't arguing with him.
No, she's not my choice. It's claustrophobic. I said you done me head in, getting up every 2 minutes to go to the toilet. So
I had envy of Holmes' dressing gown. I've ordered one on Amazon.
Have you?
You walked out like that, I'm like, he's the fucking real deal, eh? Like a grand wizard almost. I'm just like, this is fucking tremendous. It's like when I'm editing these vlogs, I fucking love doing it, but just. You look the fucking real deal in that, mate. Like that's fucking awesome.
Like I say, I'm trying to cover all bases. I've looked, like I say, with Wim Hof breathing, meditation, high altitude. I'm oxygenating my blood also. I'm trying to cover all bases. You know, like I say, physically, mentally, I'm pushing myself to limits, and then I'm recovering well as well. So
there can't be any other fighters especially like bare knuckle fighters that are putting this much effort into like looking after themselves, making sure they're mentally and physically prepared. I bet a lot of them just think like we said the other day, they'll just think, I've got 6 weeks, I'll just train 3 times a day.
Yeah, they'll just drill themselves into the ground for 12 weeks and we're not working on
a lot of them will get through that sheer grit and hard work, but I think to get to this level that you wanted to be.
And that you can. I mean, we were talking about before. So we used to spar constantly. You know, old school, knock each other about. You get to end of the street, can't remember where I'm going.
Do you still spar like that, or
no?
Just technical learning stuff.
3 to 4 hard spars during a camp. That's it. Rest is technicals. You've got to. I want to save myself up fights. You don't want to be going in there half battered, bumps, bruised, and you take some big shots in training. You don't know how long that's going to last or what effect it had on you. So it's train smart, especially as you get older. You learn to train a lot better and be a lot sharper. Have to wean yourself up, heat yourself up, fight. So, and like I say, I am doing with the age I'm at as well. I've got to make sure to keep up with that young pups. I'm one step in front.
100%.
In closing, then let's wrap this one up. April 22nd. What can people expect from Anthony Holmes?
I'll be fully ready. I'm confident. Obviously, I don't take anything away from my opponent, but I'm not driven. I just know what I want. I know what I need to do to get there, and I'm on the right path at doing everything I can do to make that happen. Like not taking away from him like his experience with other boxing fights and stuff like that before, but I don't think he's had this sort of pressure put to him before either. So, and then the way I can fight as well, I can really, intensify that pressure as well at night.
It's going to be a fight to watch. I just can't wait. The build up to the night is going to be a good day. We're going to come and vlog and sort of like. I'm trying to get Holmesy to get an hotel room, but he's toying with staying at home. I want to get a Dakota.
What about if we bring altitude tent to hotel room?
Yeah, well, I won't be doing it on the last couple of days anyway. I want really good sleep and that, because what it does do, it's harder to switch off.
Yeah.
Because you ain't got as much oxygen, and sometimes if I've turned it too high, I'm like,
I'd be scared of suffocating him asleep.
Struggling a bit to breathe, but
waking up fucking brain damaged. So
I'm already there. Anyway.
Well, how come you not getting an hotel?
It's only on doorstep, innit? So it's only 15.
I've heard vicious rumours of fibre penthouses the after party, but I don't know
about
this.
There's discussions about it. Tony, a good friend, Tony Nixon, even about fibre and that. So, but then we're saying we might be at Bull as well after. So, because it's only around the corner, innit? So we'll run closer to time for that.
Happy boys?
Yeah.
Good podcast, lads.
Are you ready for the fire? Look, we're firemen. Okay? We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat. It tells us that we're ready. We're at home. We're where we're supposed to be. Flames don't intimidate us. What do? We control the flame. We control them. We move the flame where we want to. And then we extinguish